get $5 million in $1,000 notes and put it in front of that child, what you think that child is going to do with it? Just play with it, because the child don't understand the value. Similarly, no matter how much opportunity is placed in front of you, if you don't have the proper mindset to connect, to take advantage of that opportunity, the opportunity really is no good to you. So we can spend a lot of time talking about that. I'm not bragging and talking about the things that I've accomplished and who I am, just for the purpose of bragging, but it's to impress upon you that my experience supports my writing, my speaking, and my coaching credentials, so that you know the person that is talking to you is not someone, a fly-by-night, or someone that is talking off of the cuff. And one other word before I get into some more details. The thing that I'm going to be speaking with tonight, one night and 1 hour or 2 hours is not sufficient just to scratch the surface. So I'm going to encourage you to go to my website. I have a website dedicated to my books and my writing. That word is longer. Frank is going to give that to you. But if you go to my general humanitarian website, it's gold, GOLDINT.org. And gold stands for gift of life dunamis. Dunamis means power. My whole life is about giving life to other. GoldINT.org. When you go to that website, you'll be able to read my bio, get the information about the books. But most importantly, I have a trailer on there, a video trailer that summarizes many of the things that we are going to be speaking about tonight, about the mind and why you need to look deeply into the mind and make changes. So we're going to cover some of that. So again, thank you for being on the call. You are in an unbelievable great position, those of you who are on the call, because you are already here. Success requires a couple of very few things, not a whole lot. It requires an opportunity which you already have. It requires you taking action, which you've already done. You are here. The only two things that is needed, two very small things that are needed, some very small tweaks that you need to do, is pretty much just to get the proper mindset position that you can take advantage of the opportunities. And since you are already here and you already paid the price to be here and to take the time and make the sacrifice to come to this call, you are searching, you are seeking, and Frank have provided an unbelievable opportunity for you to take advantage of. I know that you could be successful if you just do some very simple thing that we will discuss tonight. Thank you, Frank.
So, so what we've been doing is we've been this whole week and a little bit longer than that, we've been promoting the Are You an Entrepreneur or Are You an Employee? And the difference between an entrepreneur and an employee is only one little tiny thing, and that is the mindset. If you have the mindset to be an employee, then you punch your clock and you get what you've always gotten. If at some point in time, I or Dr. Siku can convince you to change your mindset and to just let yourself imagine, can I do this? Now, I've been doing it for 36 plus years. I retired 6 years ago. And to me, the finance arena is child's play. It's really simple. Not to everyone, though. And I totally understand it. We've made the training kindergarten simple. We've made the training really, really simple. We've made the training by videos. We've made the product line. There is nobody on the planet that has a scope of products that we have, that we're offering. As I mentioned earlier, you could start with just one or two. You can start with a few of them, or you can start with a bunch of them. We will be creating teams for you. I have 695 standard agents that I am going to be assigning to my pro agents. The pro agent, there is a fee to become a pro agent. There's no fee to become a standard agent. So those standard agents will be assigned to my pro agents, and you can add on as many more agents as you like. The leads that come in are coming in on an every single day basis, and they're much more leads than we can handle ourselves. So we're expanding out. That's the whole idea. That's the whole reason for the pro agent position that we've established, and the business in the box that we've established. Now, as Dr. Sekou has already mentioned, I can put all the opportunity in the world up in front of you. One thing I wanted to ask anyone if they could just unmute themselves and tell me, are you actually seeing my screen? I've had a couple of hiccups here where my screen is saying it's showing, but it's not really. Are you seeing my screen? Anyway, unmute yourself, shout out yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Now, did you see the screens previously that I was showing all of the leads that we have pouring in every day? Were you able to
Yes.
see those? Was that a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good, fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to just digress just a little bit. I'm going to go back to that screen because it's kind of important. Every day when I come in, I get all of the new leads that are coming into the system. I get new leads every single day that come in. We do a number of different types of marketing. We have internet marketing, we have advertising, print marketing, a lot of different marketing. So with the 434 leads, that could add up to a lot of money. So I just want to give you one really small example. We have a program that's called 125% buy, fix, and flip. And it's specifically geared towards the real estate rehab market. The people who buy these abandoned homes or rundown homes or even great homes. They buy them, they fix them up, and they flip them. Every other company on the planet wants to charge you 50%, 68%. They'll only fund up to 65, maybe 70%. If you find a really good company, maybe 80%. That means you've got to come out with 20% out of your pocket. We have put together a package where we fund 125%. We fund the acquisition. We fund the working capital. We fund the rehab capital. We fund the marketing of the property after it's all completed. That's just one of our many, many programs. Just imagine yourself if you went to a RIA group, a Real Estate Investment Association group, anywhere in the country, and you offered the people who are paying money to go to that group, if you offer them any property that they buy, you would give them 125% of the value of that property. How many people do you think you would have? How many takers would you have? Well, I'll tell you the answer. 434 this time. And then you can keep on doing it over and over and over again because it's that good of a product. So I really want to let you understand. Oh, and how much money would you make? What would it mean to you? Well, our example is the first part is working capital. That's a first part of what they get. Is they'll get up to $75,000 before they find a piece of property. Your commission, $1,000 if you're a standard agent. We go over here to standard agents. If you're a standard agent, if you're one of these 695, your commission on the first half is $1,000. First 1/3 is $1,000. You, as an Easy Pro agent, your commission is 50% above that. So you get 50% of whatever the standard agent got for writing up the deal. Because you're supervising, you're going to get half of what they got. So you'll get $500. If you wrote up the deal yourself, you get the whole $1,500. That's the first 1/3. Now we fund the property itself. I'm going to keep it real simple. If it was a $100,000 piece of property, you would get another $1,000 as a standard agent. As a As a pro agent, you get a $500 override or 50% of what the standard agent made. If you did the deal yourself, we're still talking about one deal. If you did the deal yourself, it's $1,500. Add those two up, you're at $3,000 for one deal. One. Now they have to have the rehab capital. As you write up the rehab capital, it could be any number. There's no way of knowing what that number is going to be. For one single transaction, it could be anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 for one single transaction. I have 695 agents that I want to give out to people like you. I have 434 deals that have come in that agents need to close. So we're not talking about a little thing. We're talking about a very big thing. And we have tons of different things that you can use, whether it's small business administration loans, unsecured finance, equipment financing. We have so many different products that you could just find your own niche. What we want to do is we want to strongly encourage you to consider becoming an Easy Pro agent, Easy Pro agent. We strongly want to encourage you to do that. We strongly want to encourage you to take the master class, which is only $197. You take this master class, become a certified agent. Once you're a certified Easy Pro agent, you get the 50%. Now, attached to your invitation was a baker's dozen. I'm not going to go into the baker's dozen, but attached to your invitation is a baker's dozen. Talks about 13 items that you'll get, starting with a 50% pay raise, because you'll be getting an override on every one of the agents that we assign to you. And we will assign as many agents as you can comfortably handle. There's no limit to the agents that you can have. There's no limit to the number of customers that you can have. We're not asking you to go out and invent the wheel. It's like a McDonald's franchise. You walk in, you read the book, you do what the book says, and you make the money. That's it. You don't have to be creative. We've done all the creativity. 36 years in the industry, 6 years in retired, is still in the industry, but retired, working full time, even more than full time. Anyway, here is the vehicle. There's no question whatsoever. This vehicle will provide you what you need. What we want to do is we want to hook you up with Dr. Suku, who will help to get us into the millionaire's mindset. And with that, Dr. Suku, tell us a little bit about how you came to this country. Did you come to this country as a rich man? Did you come to this country as a scholar? How did you come to this country?
I came to this country at the age of 27 in 1982 with a suitcase and 2 sets of clothing, 2 jeans, 2 shirts. Couldn't read, couldn't write. Lived in a house in Brooklyn, in New York, with my siblings. It was about 9 of us living in a 2-bedroom house. Went back to school at night, got a high school diploma, went to college, did all the prerequisite courses because I didn't have the background, struggled my way through, but graduated with computer engineering degrees with honor.
Dating.
Now, this, I didn't know it at the time, but over time, I stumbled on a book, Think and Grow Rich, and Les Brown's book, Live Your Dreams. And those 2 books start my path to let me know that the mind and thinking is what it's all about. Within 15 years, I made my first $1 million and struggled through. The good thing is that everything I've done, all the courses, every single person that you could name, that is a motivational course, from Zig Ziglar to Tony Robbins, you name them all. I've gone to all the seminars, traveled all over the world, wherever they were, spent upwards of $300,000 in making myself learn everything. Excuse me. I learned everything to finances, got all kinds of financial service license, studied law. I have two sisters that are judges, studied law on my own. I have about 5 or 6 disciplines that I study, and I put it all together. But this is one thing that I need to share with you that was the key to the thing that I was doing and what made me successful. Because I could not read, I could not function fully in a British educational system where everything is reading. It really was my greatest gift, but did not know it. Because as I will go through tonight, let you understand how the mind works and how to reprogram your mind, that you can become anything and you can do anything. Because I could not read, I missed the programming, the societal programming that the masses have. Didn't understand it. So from day one, I had to think outside of the box because I couldn't depend on a piece of paper, academic paper. So I always looked at things differently. Didn't understand it then, the power of that. But once I apply education and academics to the mindset that I already had because of my parenting and because of my exposure or my lack of exposure, it was easy for me to take advantage of the opportunities. It wasn't the opportunities. America is the greatest country in the world because America provides the opportunities. But the people who are benefiting from the opportunities are not American-born people. Most of the people who are really taking off are not people from here, are people who came with nothing because they're hungry. They had a whole different mindset. I grew up in a country under a socialist government structure that you can't do anything. You can't even own a business if you want to. You can, when you come here and understand what America is all about, you will kill for this country. You will fight and die for this country. It offers so much. But I'm sad, and that's why I write the books I write. That's why I do the things I do. And that's why I involve myself in coaching, because too many people or too few people do not take advantage of the opportunities that are available. It's always there. My idea, my goal, my desire is to help people. And that's why I'm here. It's all
So
about the
you
mindset.
so you've written many books. I've seen that you've got a lot of different books that you've written. The latest book that you wrote, what encouraged you to write this latest book?
Frank, going through all of those seminars that I just discussed, I would see people pay 5,000, 10,000, and when you go to the seminars, like a Tony Robbins seminars, the place is packed all over the world. I see all of these people paying the price, have the desire, yet let less than 5% of people succeed. And I always wondered why. I was in ministry and I preached for like 11 years, and I see all these Christians all over the world coming to church and praying and doing everything the pastors say, struggling, want to do what they're saying, but yet they're falling short. And all of the promised blessings in the scripture, the average Christian is not achieving it. And it bothered me. And I took 5 years to study everything I could on the mind, spirituality, success, psychology. And what I end up finding out is why I wrote the book. The book is called Breaking the Code: How to Overcome the Obstacles to Faith and Performance, and How to Overcome all of the Effects of Negative Experiences. What I found was, once your mind is programmed, you're locked in. And no amount of it, Frank, this is so powerful. No amount of information, education, motivation, or inspiration, or facts could overcome a programmed mindset. And that is why people strive so hard. You find so many people end up using all forms of chemical substances, even if they have a lot of money. There's a reason why people are doing those things. There's a reason why people do self-destructive things and damage themselves and hurt others. There's a reason why people have the desire, I want to lose weight, but they can't. They try and start and stop. I want to do this. I want to join this business. There are so many things people want to do, and they don't know what is stopping them. Tonight, I'm going to let you into the secret. This talk really is about what do you need to position yourself to live a balanced, fulfilled, purpose-driven, financially independent life. Because you can make a lot of money, like so many professionals that we see, so many celebrities, yet they destroy themselves because money don't really make you happy. It provides, it could provide some needs, emotional needs. It could provide some tools, some toys, some material things. But ultimately, if you inside, if you are not a whole from the inside, the money can't solve that problem for you. So what I'm going to do tonight is help you to understand why and to teach you what to do that we can break that, how to develop not just a millionaire mindset, but how to develop a mindset that could be able to allow you to do the thing that you want to do. So what are the benefits of personal development coaching or personal development? The first thing is that it allows you to understand mindset principles and help you to overcome all of the effects of negative experiences, which really is the root of what is preventing people from achieving the things that they desire. Secondly, it helps you to free your thoughts and allow you to control your own thoughts. I'm going to go into that in a lot of depth tonight. And so you would recognize that we really are not in control of our own thoughts. It gives you a positive mental attitude. Now, whenever you are faced with a situation, irrespective of what the situation is, you can make either of three decisions. If information comes into your head or you're faced with a situation, you could say, well, I can believe this to be true, whatever it is, because I have the experience or I have done some research or something about my life allows me to know that whatever I'm facing is true. Secondly, you could say, well, I don't know if it is true. However, I'm going to choose to believe it because my negative mindset says that if I believe this, it can satisfy some form of emotional urge that I'm attached to, irrespective of what it is, whether it's culture, music, religion, politics, it's the same thing. Or you can say, well, I don't know if it's true. However, I could use the information that could trigger something and allow me to create my own thoughts that I can control. I will teach you how to do that. The next thing it does, personal development does, it allows you to be self-assured and self-confidence. It helps you to be free from fear. And fear really is false evidence appearing real. Fear is not even real. It's just our perception of what is real. It allows you to free yourself from rejection. You know, when people, sales is the best career in the world outside of the service careers, such as religion, teaching, education, um, people on the front line, like police officers, medical fields. Outside of those service areas, sales is the best profession in the world because it allows you to set your own pace. It allows you to make as much money as you want to make. The reason why people don't want to get into sales is because of rejection. And I'm going to explain to you why that happens. When people say no, they're not saying no to you. They say no because I don't want what you're selling or what you're offering. Of course, there are ways to get over that when you learn the words to say and how to approach people. But it's rejection. It gives you the ability to make good decisions. But more importantly, it gives you the ability to take proper actions, not self-defeating actions or self-destructive actions. That's what personal development does for you. No, you can get involved in personal development and you can try to do many things on your own. But we suggest that you need to work with the coach. Why do you need to work with the coach? And I want to spend a minute on personal development, on what a personal development coach is and what a coach does for you. A coach helps you to overcome your vulnerabilities, things that you really are struggling with, by providing information, motivation, but most importantly, they can teach you things that you didn't know. You don't have to, you can learn by smelling the smoke, or you could learn by feeling the heat. It's best you learn from other people's experience who have gone there before. Coach helps you to be accountable. If you're not accountable to not to anybody, then you can do whatever you feel like doing, and then procrastination get in. You know, you as long as you believe you have time, you will find time to collapse that time frame. Example, if I give you one day, if you know you have a task and you only have one day to complete that task, you will find ways to complete that task in one day. If you have the same task and I tell you that you have 1 week to complete that task, you will find ways to complete the task in 1 week.
That's I wanted to break in right there. That's something I've been involved with for so many years. Many years ago, when I was just a salesman puppy, actually, I heard that the job will expand to the amount of time given it.
That's right.
So that means that if we if we give it a week, then it's going to take that whole week to do
That's right.
what we could have done in one day.
That's exactly right. The job expires for time allotted. That's what accountability does. And I guess one of the most important thing a coach does is a coach help you to go beyond your perceived limits. It helps you to stretch. You know, before Bannister broke the 1 minute mile, mankind believed that the fastest a person could run was less than 1 minute. But since Bannister broke that mile, and people believe that, oh, you mean that I can go beyond that minute? Today, high school kids are running a mile faster than a minute. Whatever man has done, man can do. As long as one person has done it, you can do it. You might not be able to do it as fast. You might not be able to do it as efficient because you may not have all the tools and all of the circumstance that that person has. But as long as one person have done it, you can do it too.
Well, that also comes into the belief system. If man believes you can run a 6 minute mile, then that's all you can run. But if the man believes that they can run a 3 minute mile, well, that 3 minute mile that record is going to be broken because someone believes it. If you look at all of the technological advancements that we've experienced in the last 50 years, no one would have believed it 50 years ago. I remember when I was a little kid, there was a guy on the TV was named Dick Tracy. He used to speak into his watch and everyone laughed about it. Later on, probably 20 years later, somebody was talking into his shoe, and Get Smart was a TV program, and it was just a joke. It was just kind of a funny thing. But now, don't we have, well, I heard something said the other day that there used to be something called a supercomputer. It filled an entire room. It had its own air conditioning. It was a humongous big thing. And today we call it a smartphone.
It
All
is
the
amazing.
all of the power that we believe can be done, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe,
They
it
can
can
achieve.
achieve.
And I'm going to go into that in some great depth in a minute. This is my philosophy. To have more, you must become more. But to become more, you need to change. Change, however, is difficult. Why? That's one of the reasons why it's so important that you need a coach. A coach helps you to get the best results and to collapse time frames. Why is change so difficult? Because of a program mindset. So let's go back from the beginning and let's talk about how the mind functions. Well, before we get into how the mind functions, let's go back from the beginning. If we take the scripture and start from the fact that when God created man, before God created man, God created nature, which means that when man was created, the only thing in existence was nature: land, sea, water, air, trees, and animals. Look how powerful this is. God took the dust and blew his breath into man, and man became a living soul. Every human being on the face of the earth has built into them the power that God had given you to do anything and to do everything except be the Almighty God. And I can prove it. Everything you see, you look around, came out of the mind of a man. Everything that you see, color, clothes, water, cars, books, everything, some man created it. The question is, why not you? Therefore, what happened? What happened to this powerful mind that we have, that we are all geniuses at birth? Not at birth, but at creation. What happened? Here's the problem. A human being from birth, actually before you were born, the mind, the powerful mind that God has given you is there, but it has to grow and mature. And when you are a baby, before you're even born, your mind begins to be programmed from some of your mother's thoughts through the first 7 years of your life. So that program mind that you start to develop, not only are you developing based on the things around you, what you see, what you hear, but there's something called ACE, A-C-E, childhood adverse experiences. All of the negative experiences that you have since of a child, it goes into your subconscious mind. And whatever is locked into your subconscious mind, it forms a belief system. So who you believe you are on the subconscious mind, in the deep, deep bowels of your mind, of your brain, that's the thing that shapes your thinking, shapes your thought, shapes your behavior. Our conscious mind really only works on the things that we can feel, see, touch, our desires, our wishes, our wants, and our emotions. They're all triggered by a conscious mind. If I can think about it consciously, those are things that I could act on those things consciously. However, my subconscious mind is where my belief system is. And the belief system cannot be overpowered by any thought, information, experience. It has to be reprogrammed. So unless your mind is reprogrammed, then all of the things that you believe, since from a child, fear, rejection, failure, all of the things that you believe, I am not good enough, the insecurities. And that is why, as people grow up, they find themselves with so much difficulty and so much of insecurities. Fear of the unknown. We were taught don't touch. And because of how we were socialized, we are afraid to stretch beyond that which we can see. We are afraid. We want to stick within what we know in our comfort zone. We are afraid of ridicule. We are afraid of criticism. That's why bullying is such an important thing. Because if I believe I am not good enough because of all of the things that happened to me throughout my life from a young baby, I'm not good enough. I don't look nice enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not strong enough. I start to develop those things about myself. I start to feel bad about myself in my subconscious mind. So when people say anything to me that is a form of a criticism, good or bad, it affects me. If people say no to me, that's why rejection is such a powerful thing, because it comes from the negative feeling and the negative things I think about myself on the inside. Even when you want to strive to achieve things, people that want to achieve have the greatest fear of failure. And sometimes we don't go and do the things that we need to do because we are afraid that we may fail. And if every time you attempt to do something and you fail, and I'm going to talk about fail because fail is really not fatal. It really is it's a misnomer. Every time you try to do something and you don't succeed in what you perceive your task was, it adds to your belief that, oh, I'm not good enough. And those things keep adding up to a point that it gets to a point that you decide, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to strive no more. I'm not going to work hard no more because I can't do it no more. It's just like the 1 minute mind. So the belief system, if you believe Whatever the mind could conceive, and if I can believe, I can conceive, I can achieve. But in order to believe, you have to go to reprogram that subconscious mind. You have to get all of those negative thoughts out. And if you don't remove those negative thoughts, it is the thing that is hindering us from moving forward. It's not that we don't have the desires. We have desires, we have want, we have needs, but we can't get past those negative experiences.
So that segues us right into a great segue here. And that is that I have put together the culmination of 36 years of banking experience. You have the culmination of as many years in banking, in finance, in insurance. We've put the vehicle together. Now what we have to do is help the people with coaching. And so I'm gonna just give a number. I've paid $20,000 just to join finance agents. I've paid another $20,000 or $30,000 to study all of the gurus in the real estate industry. So I've put together $50,000 to $100,000 worth in my education, and I'm willing at this point in my life to give back to the people. I have put together a vehicle that if you just apply a little bit of pressure to the gas pedal, you can take off with this deal. Now, together, Dr. Suko and I are going to join forces, and it's not enough for me to give you all of the vehicle, but we also have to give you the mindset to be able to take control of that vehicle and drive it over the finish line. So this is a great segue into what about coaching for my team? What can you do that would help my team?
What we can do is put together, I have a program that I call GPS. It's called Guiding Principles for Success. That program is designed to take someone from scratch, not the people that you have, and I'm going to talk to you about the difference from scratch that like I was when I first came to the United States. No money, no knowledge, no education, can't read, nothing from scratch. I can take that person and within 5 years have that person making a minimum of $1 million because the opportunities are here. The people in your team are so far advanced because many of them went to school. They could read, obviously, but they are already seeking opportunities. They already have the desire, and the opportunity is already here. I'm going to work with them on developing the proper mindset, and I work with them to develop the proper mindset. I will be working with them to coach them into how to use all of the tools that we're using that goes along with reprogrammed mindset, that they could move faster and grow faster and climb higher and climb stronger in a the shortest possible time. So with coaching and training, we're going to work with leadership. Once we work with coaching and work with the mindset, we're going to work with leadership. We will work with the health. We're going to ensure that they are balanced, that they can enjoy the success of living a very balanced life. And then we will tie that to some serious recognition and exposure. So your team would be able to benefit from all of my 36 years of coaching experience.
So let me ask you this: if we were to set up a coaching like a boot camp, if we were to set up a boot camp, say maybe a 2 or 3 day weekend type boot camp in some place like Myrtle Beach, or someplace that's an attractive area to come to for other things, but to set up, could you make yourself available for a 3 day boot camp that we could bring people into?
Definitely, because speaking on the phone and just hearing me audibly is one thing, but most of my seminars, most of my best coaching is done in seminars. I work with people. I do a strong immersion weekend, and then I break them up into groups. But you can't do all of that on the phone. I could provide information on the phone, but a lot of the hands-on work would have to be done on a one-on-one. And once we do the hands-on work on a one-on-one in an immersion, when you go to an experience, you could watch a football game, for example, on the television. It's not the same of being in the arena watching the game in person live. There's a different feel because energy, there's so much that they're going to learn over time, and some of these things are most of these things that I'm speaking, they are all within my books, and the books are all available on my website. But there's a whole lot to do with being in person. So I would strongly recommend that I can do some of the initiating and some of the information here, and then they can pick up some of the information from my audio and some of the books themselves. But once they go through a weekend boot camp, or maybe a 2-day weekend boot camp, they'll probably get a chance to be there and spend some time with me and work with me from a live setting. Then they can work through all of the examples, all the stuff, go through some of the physical steps. They will see results. That same, at the end of that weekend, they can see changes.
Well, that's phenomenal. And some of the other things that you and I have spoken about that I'd like to really share with the group is one-on-one coaching. And, you know, as one of the things that I've given is a baker's dozen. It's 13 items, the benefits that we're giving to the people who step up to the plate. Now, I already mentioned that I spent $20,000 to join finance agents because they are a Fortune 500 company. I'm giving all of the benefits that I received for that $20,000. I'm giving all of those benefits for $2,000. $2,000 is all we're charging, and we're giving them all the benefits that I get from finance agents plus 13 more. And what I'd like to do is I would like to offer your services for a trial period, some kind of a trial period, to add that to the 13 baker's dozen, make it 14. Is that something that we could work out?
Yes, we absolutely could. Let me share this. I know I said it in passing, but let me just slow down and say it so they understand. Nothing in life is free. It cost me over $300,000 going through all of my learnings, all of my things. I spent $80,000. One of the things that they're going to get working with us as we start to work with some collaboration, setting things to them, is my books and my training are designed to work with the mindset. But as the mindset is changed and and the eyes are open, now it's time to start making money. So I do a whole seminar on just money management, how to work with money. And I spent upwards of $80,000 learning how to do the stock market, how to trade the stock market, whether the stock market is going up, down, or sideways, how to make money. And I'll be able to make that available to them. Not only all of my training, all of my mindset and my psychological training, but all of my experience on financial services, that will be coming along with whatever you bring to the table. So they are going to get mindset changes, and then they're going to get opportunities. Plus, you and I are working on several other things to bring even more opportunities for them. So opportunities and making money is never going to be the issue if they're here.
Well, that's funny. That's a funny thing that you say that. You know, that's one of my lifelong sayings. I have always been the number one at no matter what job that I worked at, from the most Boy Scout selling magazines to my first job after I got out of the military. And every one of the jobs, I've always been the number one. And not because of the money. I just wanted to be the best I could be at no matter what I did. And you know what? The money always took care of itself. I always had all the money I needed because I just wanted to be the best at what I could be. I wanted to give the most. I wanted to be the best employee. And when I owned my own companies, I've owned several companies, I wanted to always provide the most amount of service to my clients. And it's just like you just said, the money always takes care of itself.
We have two good examples of that. Kobe Bryant just died. He's one of the great basketball player, but people are not talking about this great basketball player. They're talking about Kobe Bryant, the man. If you listen, people talking about him, everything he touched, he tried to be the absolute best in that area. He became the greatest father, the greatest husband, the greatest man. He's a deep thinker. He read, he studied, he learned so many different things. When you develop and go through the mindset change and you learn to love yourself and you're secured in who you are, you become immune to what people say about you. But more importantly, then you strive to only want the absolute best for you in everything that you do and everything that you touch. That is the great genius. That is the genius in developing a positive mental attitude and a changed mindset. Once your mindset is changed, then all the slacking in all areas with your relationship, your health, your business, your finances, everything changes once your mindset changes. And that's what coaching does. And that's what personal development does. That's why it is the foundation to all success. And those people who stumble on it or who got a little bit of it, you can only move. There's something called the law of the lid. You could only grow as fast or as high as the lid of how you see yourself. The vision of yourself is as high as you can go. And that vision of yourself is capped based on how you see yourself, and that comes from your mindset. You have to go and get rid of all of those negative thinking, those negative things that bother you, all of the different things that happen in your life from since you're a baby until now. The mind that got you to where you are, and that thinking cannot be the thinking to take you to where you want to be. You have to change, but change is difficult. And the reason why change is difficult, because people don't talk. And that's why I wrote the book, because all of these gurus that I've gone to, everybody tell you, you should do this, you should do that. And people want to, and they try, but they don't tell them, because they may not have recognized that the reason why people are not succeeding and not doing the things that they want to do on a consistent basis is because they're doing it from a conscious mind, where you do it from an emotional perspective, your wants, your needs, your desires, when your subconscious mind is working totally against you. So once you can reprogram your mind and you can move forward, then it's game over.
Okay, I'm trying to bring up your website. I think I've just brought it up, and I'm going to share that. Okay, can you see my screen now?
I can see it, and I can see it. Now, that website, that is sikuobadiasbooks.com. That website is dedicated to my books and my writings. But if they go to gold, GOLDINT.org, it could bring them here. If they click on books, it's going to bring them right to the book website. Because the websites are and by the way, if they go to the website, what I would like them to do is to join the membership. When they join the membership, it comes automatically with a 30 days free personal development coaching, and the membership is free, and it comes with a discount. And if they go to my website and they purchase any one of the books and the material, especially this particular book, Breaking the Code, How to Overcome the Obstacles to Faith and Performance and to Overcome Your Negative Experiences, if they purchase that book at checkout, if they enter the code FRANK, FRANK, they'll get an additional 25% discount.
That's a very generous offer. Thank you.
I hope what they're getting or what they're hearing is that Frank has provided an opportunity. But more than that, Frank has brought tools, resources, and more and more and more and more. And now I, working together with Frank, is going to unlock the key and the power within them by changing the mindset that they can take advantage. Now, there is nothing else we can do for them but that, Frank.
Well, we have used up the hour. I'm a little bit into overtime right now. We're 3 minutes into overtime. And I just want to thank everyone for sticking with us until the end of the show. And I really want to encourage you to go to Dr. Siku's website. I'm going to give you the opportunity to say that other website again, but right now they can see my website on the screen. We're going to be working together, and I've been presenting Easy Financial and Easy Pro Agent and having a business in a box, a franchise-like business that every single thing is done for you. You don't have to think about anything. It's all laid out for you. However, what Dr. Suku is talking about can apply to every aspect of your life and every business venture that you dream about getting into. This may not be the business that you love and that you want to spend the rest of your life with. However, what we're teaching tonight can be applied to every single part of your life. And I strongly, strongly encourage you to go to his websites. Could you give the other website again and spell it out slowly?
Gold, 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 INT, like international, GOLDINT.org, ORG.
Okay, so gold, GOLDINT.org, goldint.org. I'm going to go to that right now, and I thank you guys for staying with us. www.goldint.org. Oh, I messed something up here. I get
No, you put 4 W's. No, don't put W. Just put, no, forget the W. No, leave the W. Just put gold, GOLDINT.org. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Now it should work. I'm not sure why not. It should work.
It's thinking about it.
Oh, okay. The server is slow.
I don't know why it's slow. It's not going where I wanted it to go. The other one came right up. Okay, let's go back to this one. One more time. GOLDINT.org. Go. It's thinking about it, but it's not doing it.
There it is. There it is. I see it. It's coming. There you go.
There you go.
Go. And if, as Frank, scroll down a little bit. Good. There's a video right there on the right-hand side next to the picture. If you click on that video really, and it should open it. It really explains. It summarizes a lot of how God created us, what happened to our mind, and people are going to recognize that the things that you think, it's all controlled by people. Everybody controlling the way you think except you.
Well, looks like it's got 2 videos here on this.
Yeah, no, this is an excerpt. This is excerpt of the books.
Okay.
And that one up top, the video up top to the top right, that video is a video trailer of the main book, but it really goes over why it is that people need to do the things they need to do to make themselves better.
Well, I love to respect people's time, and so I'm going to say thank you very much for being my guest speaker this evening. Thank you guys for showing up and sticking with us till the end. Again, Dr. Suku is offering a 25% discount on any of the books that you buy off of the website. In addition to that, he's going to be giving you some coaching, free coaching that goes along with that, an introductory level coaching. And if you couple that with our program, if you decide you'd like to take advantage of the Easy 5 program, again, I paid $20,000 to finance agents. You're going to get everything that I got from finance agents, plus much, much more. And those 14 items, 13 baker's dozen, and one more, we're going to throw in Dr. Suku for good measure. And we will be setting up a seminar in various locations around the country. Dr. Suku and I are going to meet next week in Myrtle Beach. We're going to set up a location in Myrtle Beach. But if you have an idea to have another location, a live seminar where we all come out physically there for a 3-day weekend or a 2-day weekend, please get in touch with me, Frank, at easyfinancialgroupllc.com, and ask me where you'd like to go, and we'll see what we can do about getting a live seminar set up in your own area. And I hope that you have the EasyFi founders group in your area. I hope that by that time you have decided that this is well worth the $2,000 for you to have a business in a box, a financial business in a box. Dr. Suku, have you ever heard of a financial business selling for $2,000 ever?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
that
They have a
doesn't
chance, they
scratch.
have the chance to earn while they learn.
That's amazing. Okay, well, with that, any last final words that you'd like to say?
Just take advantage of all the things that Frank has given to you. Don't take Frank for granted, and don't allow opportunities to pass while you have the time. Tomorrow is not promised.
Okay, with that, God bless, and thank you all. Talk to us soon. Bye now.
Bye now. Good night.